Hello everybody, it's Kenneth and welcome back to another SAT math video. I only got a couple more of these coming up and we'll pretty much have covered all the main topics I want to say on the SAT. But there will definitely be more practice videos, and our shorts always cover a lot of questions if you're looking for more. Um, so today's kind of just going to be like a compilation of a couple questions, right? Four, I always do four, don't know why, it's just what I do. So in the given system of equations, A is a positive constant. This system has exactly one distinct real solution. What is the value of A? Well, if y equals negative 1.5, immediately what I'm thinking of doing is putting negative 1.5 equals x squared plus 8x plus A. And then what I'm thinking is, well, how do you know when a quadratic equation, which is what we have here, has only one solution? Well, it's when the determinant of the equation is equal to 0. What is the determinant? Well, the determinant is our b squared minus 4ac, the square root. And so when this is equal to 0, there's only one solution. And the reason is because you have like our negative b, right, over 2a, plus or minus the square root of this. And if this is 0, then you just have negative b over 2a, well, negative b plus or minus 0 over 2a, so it's just going to be negative b over 2a. And if it's less than 0, then you get a negative in the square root, and we can't have that. So how would I realistically go about solving this? Well, first, I would sort of set up our determinant here. Like first, let's try bringing this 1.5 to the other side. So x squared plus 8x plus a plus 1.5. Now, this here is our c because they're both constants. A is a constant and 1.5 is a constant. So even though there's two things there, it's still our c. Now, let's set up the determinant. So we have b squared. Remember, b is in front of the single exponent term. So 8 squared, 64. And then we have minus 4. And a, remember, is our coefficient of our x squared term, which here is just 1. So negative 4 times 1 times RC. So a plus 1.5. Now, what I want to do is put this in Desmos. And that's because then you don't have to solve it by hand. It's the easiest way to do it. But to put it in Desmos, I kind of noticed that, well, we're going to have to change this variable, because if we put it in Desmos, well, let me just show you what will happen. Well, when we put it in Desmos, you see it says, whoa, did not mean to do that. It says add a slider, and then we have to add a slider, and it doesn't really give us what we're looking for. But if I put it as x, it'll give us a whole lot here, right? Better graph. And what we're looking for is when this is equal to 0. Now, really, what we notice is that we can actually click on the graph here, and the graph shows us, well, it shows us points of interest, and we see, well, the graph isn't equal to 0 here, but here it is. So we can say that our x value is going to be 14.5. So we can say with confidence that the value of a, when there's only one real solution, is going to be 14.5. Okay. Next question. What is the positive solution to the given equation? Well, immediately, you can sort of, if you're familiar with these type of fractions, you can kind of tell what the answer is immediately, but we can also do the work. So we can multiply both sides by x plus 6, and we can get 55 equals x times x plus 6. And then I want to make this a quadratic equation. So let's subtract 55 from both sides, and then distribute this x2 into both of these. So doing that, well, x times x is x squared. X times 6 is 6x. And then we're subtracting 55, so minus 55. Now, what I want to do is go back to Desmos and put this in. easiest way to do any math question on the SAT, if possible, is to do it with Desmos. Now it's asking for the positive solution, so we can ignore negative 11. And we see that 5 is the only other solution. So what is our x value going to be? Well, we can imagine then that the answer is x equals 5. And we can prove this ourselves, because if we go 55 over 5 plus 6, we get 55 over 11, which is equal to 5. So here's the proof. Okay, 1 gallon of paint will cover 220 square feet of a surface. A room has a total wall area of W square feet. Which equation represents the total amount of paint in gallons needed to paint the walls of the room twice? Great question. Now, for this question, I'm sure you could logic your way to the answer, but, if you can't really see it intuitively, I don't think it's the best to spend your time on the SAT doing that. So what I want to do is kind of just test all these answers. Now, what I'm thinking here is to set W equal to 440 as an example. Why? Because that's double the amount of paint that 1 gallon will hold or paint on a surface. So then what I'm going to do is plug this into every equation given. And we should get an answer of P equals 2, since we would need 2 gallons to paint twice as much, right? So let's plug this in. Well, 440 over 110, this is for A, is equal to 4. Is that 2? No. So let's eliminate that. Okay, 440 times 440. Well, I don't think we even have to distribute that to know that that is going to be much greater than 2. So that's not going to be the answer. 440 over 220. Now, this looks good. This is 2. So while this is likely the correct answer, and well, definitely is, let's just prove that D is not. Because 220 times 440, well, same as part B, this is going to be much greater than 2. So our correct answer here, C. Okay. Last question. The number A is 110% greater than the number B. The number B is 90% less than 47. So the first thing I want to do here is find what B is. Well, B is 90% less than 47, which means that B is 10% of 47. So what is 10% of 47? Well, that it would be 4.7. Now A, this is where it gets tricky, because some people might want to say that A equals like 1.1 B. And that's not right, because it's saying that A is 110% greater than B. It's not saying that A is 110% of B. Because if it was of B, then yes, this would be right. But since it's greater, well, remember that if something is 100% greater than something else, it's double, which means that this logically is not the answer. So what is it then? Well, we can say that A is 1.1 plus 1B. And the reason is because this is our 110% greater, and this is our original 100%, not 110. So this gives us 210%, which is 110% greater than B. So what is this? Well, this is 2.1B. So A equals 2.1, and then to find A, we just have to multiply by our B, which we found as 4.7. And if my math is correct, this should be equal to 9.87. And that is going to be the correct answer here. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Engagement really helps boost the channel. And, we're really looking to spread right now. So thank you guys.